Hello and welcome to another episode of Breaking Late. I'm your host Michael, and with me for another episode is John Daniel. It's like you're going somewhere, but you're not. You can't leave. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How about yourself?
Oh, a little tired. 12 hours yesterday.
Oh, it was a bit of a marathon, wasn't it?
It was. Up early. Did you get the start of it?
No, I did not.
No, me neither.
But yeah, no, it was a really good race to watch. I really enjoyed it. Constantly stuff happening. A lot of safety cars pulling the field back. A lot of people still on the lead lap, which made it interesting the whole way through the race. It was a really good race to watch.
Oh, it really was. And it was just great to see the mixture of cars out there again. It's something that I always miss. I don't realize I miss until I watch GT racing or something along those lines where, you know, we get so much with the Formula 1 and the V8 supercars where you're just like, they're the same cars. And then you get to see the mixture of manufacturers here, and it was great to watch. You see the likes of, you know, you get your V8 Focuses, the Mark cars going around, and then you got the Ferrari 488 going around as well.
Yeah, exactly. That diverse field, very diverse field. You got all sorts of makes, models, shapes, engine configurations, driveline configurations. It was really good. It was amazing how good the GT3 category is, but I just love watching them. It's such a good category. I think they really pull their field in really good. So, like in the shootout, what was there? Probably half a second or so for the top 10. So it wasn't. It
really wasn't much. It was really close.
I think there's like 4 or 5 different manufacturers in the top 10. So that was really good. I really enjoyed it. Some really strong showings from some Aussie blokes in there too, not just all European drivers.
Oh no, there was. What driver stuck out? Did a really good job for you. Like, there was
Well, in obviously the boys in the Ferrari, I don't think any out of all 3 of them really put too much of a foot wrong. Whincup had a bit of a mistake in his last stint.
Yeah, and was it Lowndes that got done for weaving?
Yeah, before, but a lot of them got done for that, so it was almost like they weren't discussed in the driver's briefing properly or something, like people weren't aware of it, sorry. So there was a couple of little mistakes like that, but over a 12-hour period, they made very, very little. The other one is Matt Campbell.
Oh, what a weekend he had, really.
Yeah, he did a great job. Look, he made a couple of mistakes as well, but it is a very long race. You're under a lot of pressure, and they're pushing for so long. It was a really, really good race from him as well. It's good to see him up there too. That's putting his name now in. This is an internationally watched race. Lots of viewing overseas from racing teams and drivers and whatnot.
Was something that I did notice reading the comments and stuff online, and you do get a lot of like Americans and like going, the Bathurst 12 hours great. I can sit there. I can watch the whole thing. It's in prime time. It's in a time that I think it was only Europe has a small difficulty watching, but for everyone else, it's in a great time to watch. It's becoming one of the pinnacle endurance races of the year.
Well, you listen to a lot, and this is something that keeps getting embedded every year now, and really makes me happy, actually, that we've got something in Australia like this. They talk to the international drivers, and they go, well, where do you rate Bathurst? And they go, oh, well, it's in my top 3, you know, Spa, Le Mans, Bathurst.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, they're putting, like, it gives me goosebumps.
Some of the drivers are going, it's my dream to race at Bathurst. And you're like,
that's unbelievable that we've got a track that's now, and these are not just Joe nobodies. These are the big name factory drivers from Audi, from Porsche, from all these big name teams that are coming in and really enjoying it. So it's good, and that bodes well for Bathurst. If the drivers and all the teams are really looking at it, maybe it's more marketable because it's now getting beamed all over the world. Everyone wants to watch it. It's a big thing. It means more money into this sport, more GT3 class cars, and it's just going to grow. It's just, well, you can see it over the years. It's just growing.
Dramatically over the few years that I've followed it.
Yeah. It hasn't been running for that many years. So,
what was your thoughts on the going to the top 10 shootout of this? Did you like it? Did you think it was a bit odd for endurance cars to do a 1-lap shootout? Because a lot of the drivers were going, oh, this is, you know, it's all good and all, but we've got a 12-hour race tomorrow. It doesn't really matter if you start at the front or if you start, you know, a few grid positions back.
I did like it. I really did like it. I can't remember off the top of my head who they were interviewing. But they were interviewing one of the European drivers, and he's like, I've never it might have even been Tom from the Ferrari. Tony, sorry, from the Ferrari. He basically said, this is it's a bit odd for me. I've never had to compete in a top 10 shootout in an endurance event. But he's like, I understand. I get it. We've got spectators here. We've got people watching on television. We've got people streaming over the internet. We're entertainment. We've got to market this as entertainment, and we've got to try and entertain people. There's no point doing a qualifying session saying, well, that's all you're going to get from us today. See you later. Come watch the 12-hour tomorrow. It's like, if we can add an extra hour of entertainment in there, why not?
Oh, and it is good. It's one of the big things that even in the V8 supercars I quite like. And I love the fact that we still have a top 10 shootout at Hidden Valley.
Yeah.
Because I think...
It's like a mini race, really. It gets you excited, doesn't it?
It does. And, it comes down to one small thing. You can be the best driver in the world or whatever, but if you make that one mistake on that lap, it all comes down to the driver. You don't have any traffic impeding you. It's like you get that... Like, they had that 6.2 kilometre circuit to themselves. It must be a good feeling, though, to get Bathurst
pretty
all to
magical,
yourself.
I'd say, yeah. Yep, I agree with you 100% there. Just to get out there and grab it and...
And I can't remember which car it was, but one did really well for themselves. I think they were one of the first ones out.
Yes,
they qualified like 5th or something.
Yes, I'm trying to remember
We
now.
should have wrote it down. But either way, it was one of those things that can happen in the top 10 shootout.
Yep.
That you can pull a lap out.
They got eight places up or something. They started on the second row or third row. Yeah, no, I agree.
Because the temperature didn't really drop until the top 4 cars came out.
Yep. Yeah, it was cloudy at the start. The track temp was down, and then it slowly built through the rest of the shootout, and then just as I think the 4th car went out, halfway through his sort of warm-up lap or his lap, the cloud cover come over, and he got a little gain, but the cars after that started getting substantial. Well, not substantial. I think the Ferrari was only 0.3 faster than the person in second.
Yes.
So it's not a massive gap, thinking about how different all these cars are. So, it was really, really good event. Really enjoyed the shootout, and I think it should stay.
No, I definitely think the shootouts, it's got to be a feature, something that can set our endurance apart from the other endurance racing.
Yep, why not? We don't have to do exactly what they're doing. They've got, so like a lot of the endurance races that we're competing against have been running 50, 60, 80 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they've got
been
a lot
running,
of history behind them.
Yeah, and we're a new... This is... Like, fair enough, we've been running Bathurst at 1,000 for a long time, but a 12-hour... Actually, talking about that was really something interesting. This is jumping a long way ahead, but...
That's all right.
Craig Lowndes is like, we could even do a 24-hour here. Just slip that in there when he's interviewed.
24-hour bomb, and you're like...
Ooh, we could.
But... I don't know if I want a 24-hour race. I can't sit there and watch a whole 24-hour race. The 12-hour race is just really good. I get up in the morning. You can watch the whole thing. It's done by... wrapped up by 4:30 our local time?
Yeah, about our time. So, no, I'm all for a 12-hour and a 24-hour.
Yeah, do too.
But I don't see us getting a 24-hour anytime soon, but... You never know. If it starts getting lots of attention and it's going to be more marketable, they will do it.
Well, the crowds were good.
Yeah, what'd they get? 40-odd thousand a day.
Yeah, it looked pretty decent.
So that's not bad for a growing event. Well, this event's not been run for very long.
No, it's only 4 or 5 years. I can't...
4th year, I think. I'm not sure. We'll probably have to look that up. But it's a fairly new event. So it's good attendance.
SVG didn't qualify very well, did he?
No, I was
16th or something.
I was listening to Craig Baird actually come to his defense a lot during the race.
They had mapping issues and stuff.
Yeah, they had the wrong map in the car. I think they might have had a race trim map in the car, and a car that's already down a lot on straight line speed was probably not the best thing for him, unfortunately. So he was ringing it out there, and he ended up in a gravel trap, and he did a rooster tail off one of the corners, and it was a real shame. But, these things happen. He was pushing it to the edge, and he, obviously didn't have the power that he needed to get the time that he needed out of the car, and didn't even manage the top 10. Real shame.
Do you want to jump to the race?
Yeah, let's jump into the race, yep.
I didn't get to see the start. I kind of woke up at probably 6:30. I was like, oh yeah, crap, Bathurst is on. Yep, turn that on. Laid in bed for probably an hour or so watching it, going, all right, I've got to go to a mate's place to watch this. Wait for the yellow flag. Wait for the yellow flag. Like, well, as soon as the yellow flags came out, I was like, all right, get in the car, let's go. The biggest thing that I saw at the start was Craig Baird shunting Lowndes on the restart.
Yes.
I thought, I know it's not the right way to think at the start of a 12-hour. I thought they were done. I watched the whole field go past them and going, they're going to go laps down. The recovery crew did a great job to get them out on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it, really?
Because I was like, you're not in the gravel trap that far. Get him out, Lounsey. Go on. I'm like, no, don't do that. You'll just dig yourself in deeper. But no, they did get him out straight on the lead lap. And that Ferrari this weekend.
When they turned the wick up, they'd had the pace.
Yeah, when Tony Volandi was driving it, that was amazing. I sent you multiple messages this week going,
how good is this bloke?
Is amazing. And you're like, if you want to win, employ a fit.
Yeah, it's true. It was a class act. Out of the international drivers this weekend, he was probably one of the standouts. Obviously, he's in one of the best car, really. I think we're safe to say that. But he just did everything he needed to do perfectly and did a great job.
It was the battle between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Because that was all this race was. It was the battle between those two.
Yep, the Porsche didn't quite have the pace. The McLaren had problems.
Yeah, the
went
McLaren
laps
had
down.
a lot of problems. They almost got back onto the lead lap by the end.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They did get on the lead lap.
And then I think they had another issue.
Did they go back? No, I think they finished on the lead lap, but they were only just in front of Whincup, weren't they? Like, just up the road?
No, I think by the end of it, Whincup won by a lap. It looks like Whincup had a bigger lead than what he actually did towards the end of it. But yeah, it was.
You know what would have happened? Whincup would have passed the line, then it would have clicked 12 hours, so he would have got an extra 2 laps.
Yeah.
When everyone else would have just come in behind him. Yeah, so pretty strong showing from the Porsche. They hung around really strong to sort of finish.
Porsche did really well.
Yep.
Like, considering it's like, young Matt Campbell, he's only 21 years old.
Yeah, he's
piloted that
amazing,
towards the end. He had that slight brain fart where he tried to go up the inside of a car a little too hot into Hell's Corner.
Yeah,
shunted him. That got him.
I'm not sure if he was just sort of had a bit of brain fade, didn't realise the car was a lot slower than him, and the closing speed. I think similar thing happened with Shane when he hit the Porsche as well. Just used to following another GT3 car that's got the same pace as them, and then all of a sudden there's this car that's a lapped car. They assume it's going to be fast, and just bang.
He tried to, you can see in the in-car footage, he sort of comes in and he's like, oh shit, I'm going too hot, tries to turn out the other way and just
clips him,
ran off the thing. I think you got to drive through for that.
He did, yep.
You learn. He still managed to come through, finish second.
Yeah, that's strong.
It's really good considering, he's teaming up with, this is something we haven't touched on. Since our last episode, it's been announced that Matt Campbell will be driving with Shane Van Gisbergen during the Enduros.
That's big news. It's a big step up, unfortunately, for the Kelly boys that they've lost him, but that's a big step up for him. Also, Matt Campbell's racing the Porsche Pro Cup sort of thing that's going on this year, so he's got a sponsored role because he's won the Career Cup in Australia.
Like a scholarship.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be amazing to see him go up against the best in the world now.
Well, Mark Webber was down at the garages this weekend.
Yep.
And he had some high praise for Matt Campbell.
Oh, yeah, he rates him. Yeah, so
he's like, out of all the other young Aussies out over doing international work at the moment, Matt he's got his head screwed on. He's going places, and that's good to hear.
Yep, I agree. I think he's a name to watch. If he comes back and does V8s, or if he's going to chase GT3 DTM, something else maybe. I'm not sure where he wants to go. I don't see him going to Formula 1 or something like that. But
no, maybe just do some. Well, he's got the Porsche. You know, you get the Porsche drivership. That's pretty good. You can stay in their Porsche, sports cars and
exactly.
replace Weber.
Yep.
Do the WEC.
Yeah, that's where I'm sort of leading. Like he might end up in something that's pretty big. So that's fingers crossed for him. He can get up there. And
this race, lots of safety cars.
15, I think they said at the last one.
Yeah, there was a few, and I don't know if you
It's not a record.
A few drivers were waving to each other after incidents. So you see the in-car footages, a few thumbs up. The Porsche bloke, what was his name that Shane hit?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, when Shane drove past him when his car was wrecked on the straight, he's up on the tyre barrier, gave Shane the big thumbs up, like, you're doing a great job, mate.
Yeah.
And I think it was his engineer or someone from that
I think
team
it was one of the other drivers from the team,
went over to the, was it STM Motorsport?
Yeah, to the Mercedes team.
To the Mercedes team, and pretty much just said, what the hell was that?
I believe he said, what the fuck do you think, what do you call that? And fucking,
yeah,
there's a lot of swearing.
Say that. It was all live over TV.
Yeah. Like, ooh,
it was awkward.
PG rated.
We had a few laughs of drivers flipping off other drivers, and seeing them, they're just straight out the window, like, "Screw you, mate! You flipped me off." And we're like, it was good fun to watch.
Yeah.
I was just
Clark Quinn gave Steven Richards the finger as well.
Yeah, he got spun round.
Look, he was semi-self-induced the damage.
He did.
It was a very minor touch that span him around. He could have touched the brakes.
I think he just thought he was past the wall.
Yeah, I think he thought he
sort of rolled straight back into a concrete wall and fucked his car.
It's essentially, yes. Like, it shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have been spun around. But let's be honest here. Steven Richards is a pretty clean driver. He wasn't doing it deliberately. He thought there was a gap. He went, "Oh, I'm not going to make that gap." And they were told in the driver's briefing, it's not like V8s. You can't just shove your car down the center and move the other car across. So he went to pull out of that, and he just so slightly touched him. It was enough to rotate the car.
Yep.
These GT3 cars spin very easily.
Yeah.
Once they get that sideways momentum, you can't catch them. But he could have stopped.
Yeah. Well,
it was made a lot
cars
worse.
Making contact with one that spun. Did you see the highlight package of the Audi that spun in the morning? It was only on lap 8.
No,
and he span, and it was just past the dipper, and he's sideways along the middle of the road, so not much space. And you've got a heap of the cars coming through. They all go around the front initially. They've slowed right down. I think no one makes contact initially at the start, where 3 cars go around the front of it. Then a GDR and a Bentley come past, but they go around the back side of it. The GDR slightly scrapes it.
Yeah.
The Bentley's a little bigger than the GDR. Because then the Bentley goes through, hits him, and then another car goes around the front and clips him as a thing. So he got hit 3 times while waiting in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I have seen that, yes.
Like, not much that the other drivers could do.
He was pretty much blocking the road.
He was blocking the road. And it's not the first time we've seen the mountain be blocked.
No, it's not. I think that's one of the things that adds character to the mountain. It really does. You've got that sort of unforgiving, undulating road that's got crests and peaks and wallows in it where the unsteadies the car. And then with that, you've also got concrete. Some places, not even half a foot off the racing line.
Yeah.
Some places you touch the mirror nearly every lap on the concrete. So it's very unforgiving, and these boys obviously every now and then come unstuck. And
something that you forget a lot about the track when you see it on TV is the elevation. Like, I was reading some comments online of people with about cars going down the dipper going, he could have gone a bit faster down the dipper. I swear he eased off down there. I'm like, yeah, it's because it's like straight down.
Yeah, it's because it feels like when you're going through there in a street car, the front wheels are going to come off the ground.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
crazy.
Some footage from the ride-along of Bathurst last year with a couple of when they have the streetcar parade go through, and you're going down that dipper, you're like, screw that.
Yeah, it's steep.
That's scary.
It's a very, very steep drop off with a corner in the middle of it.
Very much so. A young driver that I wanted to talk about
Yeah, mate.
this weekend that did a great job was Bryce Fullwood.
Unbelievable job again, mate. Really, the
Well, he
combined
was in the
sedans he
combined sedans as well as the 12-hour.
did. Yeah.
In the 12-hour, he didn't have the best of luck.
No, they had car failure mid-race where they had to replace a whole hub on the car. A wheel bearing failed on the car, so that's a real...
Well, they lost about 25 minutes under green flag doing that.
Yeah. I
Put
think
them a few laps down. I think
they were
he
looking...
was 2 laps away from his next
Yeah.
person in class.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a shame, but I think they ended up 4th of the class anyway, so that's not too bad.
And then the team got 1, 2, 3, 4 because he was 4-car team. I think there was 8 invitation because
9, I think.
Yeah, well, Bryce was racing in the invitational class, and there was either
Yeah.
8 or 9 of them, and he did finish 4th.
Yeah. So
Great job. He finished 25th overall out of 52 cars.
yeah, it was a really solid effort. So great drive by the team and great drive by him, and good for the team to actually get that car back out there with a wheel bearing. I can tell you, as I'm actually a mechanic, and it's not the easiest thing to replace on a car in 25 minutes. So they must have really busted their ass to get it out
been
there.
in there for a while. It's cooled down.
Oh
a
yeah,
bit.
exactly.
You know,
It must have been.
all.
It must have been at least about 300 or 400 degrees when they were working on it.
But those
Glowing
Mark
red
cars,
brakes.
because he was in the Mark cars. He was racing a V8 Focus. Those things pretty quick for what they are.
Yeah, I think their lap record for the race in Bryce's car was a 2:12 point something, which is, if you think back not too long ago to the old spec V8 supercars, that's about their race pace.
Yeah.
So
And to be doing that's
amazing.
effort.
Yeah, that is amazing. It was really good effort. Pretty consistent too. So, but him in the combined sedans, he just drove away with it this weekend.
He won race 1, 2, and 3
So
from start to finish.
if you don't know what they were, so the combined sedan's a loose term because there's Camaros, there's tube chassis cars. It's a very big field of cars.
It was about 51 cars. There was another 50-car field doing the combined sedans. It was you've got your V8 supercars, so you've got the old Dunlops.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any super new. I think an FG was probably the newest supercar.
I don't think there was any car of the future style supercars. But yeah, there was definitely lots of old supercars and stuff, and that's what Bryce was driving. He was driving actually a car that Bryce used in the development series 2 years ago now.
Yeah, he was driving the first gen VE.
Yep. So and
he was doing
had it hooked up.
210s.
Yeah, had it hooked up and did some good laps. So yeah, really solid effort.
I found the race 2 and 3 of the combined sedans, and I'll link them in the show notes if you want to watch them. I unfortunately don't have race 1 that wasn't broadcast, so we don't have that. But still, Bryce, hats off, mate. You drove fantastically well this weekend. Yeah, he was so smooth through the top of the mountain driving the V8 supercar.
Yeah, he just looked comfortable, didn't he? Coasting almost. It's good to see.
We finished 14 or 15 seconds ahead in the final race.
Yeah, fingers crossed this is a good start to the year for Bryce's development series. He'll be back with Matt White this year and pushing on hard in his FG Falcon. So
do we know... We know Matt White's signed on with Nissan.
Yes.
Do we know how long he'll be in the Falcon for?
I think it's only speculation at the moment. It looks like it could be sort of a 3 or 4 races before they'll have the Nissans up and going, but I'm really not sure. We'll have to talk to Bryce about it, to be honest, and find out what the go is and go from there. So
I am excited to see another a new manufacturer in the development series, and
it's about time. I really think
the development series is getting a name change.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't heard about this. What's going on, Michael?
They're changing name, or they're going to be rebranded. It's looking like the Dunlop Development Series, is what it's been currently called, is going to be known as the Dunlop Super 2 Series. Kind of like GP2.
Yeah.
They're really trying to make it into Not
Yeah,
so much of a development, but like it's the second
it's
tier.
it's another major category. They don't want it to be
Chucking
downclassed
the
as a
development
development.
on there goes, oh,
Well, you've got big name drivers in there, so I understand what they're trying to do there. We're not trying to develop people like Paul Dumbrell,
Paul Dumbrell needs some developing.
Does he?
Yeah, that's why he's gone
He
back
needs
there
to
and
develop
racing
some
in
more
the
hair.
development series.
He needs
for
to develop some more hair on top.
I don't think he's with the Advanced Hair Studio. But
Oh, maybe he should contact Warney for him.
Yeah. There is talk that the Supercar Australia company, the people that own supercars, they own the development series. They've recently purchased the Super Utes, or the V8 Utes, which they're rebranding into the Super Utes. They own the 12-hour, well, they own half of the rights for the Bathurst 12-hour. I think the Bathurst Regional Council own the other half. They're looking at trying to get some more categories under their belt. And I guess this could play into a bit like the NASCAR with, you've got your Sprint Series, you've got the Cup Series, and that we might be looking at a point where we could have Super Utes and another series come up and travel alone, not from the supercars, if they do get enough of these other series together.
I agree. There's plenty of room for more sponsorship and driving opportunities. A lot of good drivers in Australia that do not have drives in like a V8 supercar or any of these other headlining categories. And realistically, V8 supercars is our only headlining category.
It is.
That and the GT series is now trying to sort of break away and get their own as well. So yeah, I'm all for it. Get some more
good.
professional series.
I mean, there's not much There's not much else to the news at the moment.
Well, actually, one thing that is come up, this is not V8s related, but talking about name changes, GP2 might be getting a name change.
Oh, to what? I haven't.
Formula 2. So they've been...
Isn't Formula 2 a thing?
Yeah, I think it is, but Bernie Ecclestone apparently had been standing in the way of a Formula 2 sort of name change for a long time.
Didn't take long for once he's out to start.
Yeah, so they're discussing it. Nothing's firm, nothing's happening really yet, but it's something they're discussing and they might change it.
Something so that Bernie had to deny and shoot down rumours of was after he got axed, there was a lot of talk going, well, he's going to start his own rival motorsport series. And I'm like, no, he won't.
He loves F1 too much. I don't think he could do that to his baby.
I don't think he wants to hurt his baby, yeah. And
so,
really, like, he's still... No matter what happens, Bernie can walk down the pits, in Albert Park this year in March, and people are going to be like, oh my God, it's still Bernie.
Oh, of course.
He is Formula One. Something we should touch on. We're not giving you a full recap of the Bathurst 12-hour because, mate, it was 12 hours long.
And it also was 12 hours full of action, really.
It really was. There was... Something happened to the contenders. Every contender had something wrong with them.
Yep.
Whether it was a drive-through penalty, whether they've hit the wall, whether they got taken out. Stuff was
it the
always
first,
happening.
Nearly every GT3 car had a drive-through penalty. Yeah. I'm pretty sure everyone, maybe not the Bentley, but I'm pretty sure everyone else had a drive-through penalty.
Bentley did a really good job of just sticking by, and I think they picked up, third?
Third. That was actually one thing. They were talking to the Bentley Motorsport, the manager, basically, that come over with them. And he's like, yep, we're just going to plug away. We know we don't have the speed this year, but we'll plug away and we'll try and be around the top when and on the lead lap when we go to finish the race, and maybe something can happen for us. Bang.
No, I mean, you've got to be happy with that.
Oh, bloody
Still
oath.
on the podium.
One of the hardest races, I think, in the world to win at the moment. So, yeah.
We've touched on Shane taking out the Porsche.
Yes.
And then I guess we should touch on Shane touching the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say Shane touching something.
What do you think? Do you think he did the right call by not taking tyres in that last pit?
Yes.
He did the right call by not taking tyres.
I think so, because if they had tyres, I think the Ferrari still had their pace.
Oh, yeah.
And better pace than
them.
had
more pace than any other.
So they had they had to do was try and beat the Ferrari with tactics, as in get out in front of the Ferrari and make that Ferrari chase them.
Yeah, well, the SLS is pretty wide, so you just have to make it even wider.
It's not an SLS.
Wasn't an SLS, was it?
No. It's an
Looks-
AMG 63.
I don't care, man. It looks bloody like an SLS to me.
It's Mercedes' new car. That's why Mercedes was shit also last year, is because they were running old spec GT3 SLSs.
That's right.
So this is a new spec car, current spec Mercedes GT3 car. I think they did the right thing. They went for track position over a car that was faster than them, because they weren't going to chase them down if they waited the extra time for the pit. The only problem is they just got unlucky when there was lap traffic. They hit it at the top of the mountain in spots where they couldn't get past, and that just drove them straight back to Whincup. And then Whincup said, "See you later" down the straight, and blasted. Well, it didn't blast off into the distance, but Shane was ragging the car out, trying to get every little ounce of speed out of the car, pushing it to the edge.
Making it easy, like that Whincup's pass on Shane.
Oh, that was some.
I had to close my
great
eyes,
driving.
man. There was 2 wheels on the dirt, and I'm like, no.
At
Oh,
260 odd, 280.
280 k's an hour. I'll put 2 wheels in the dirt. Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah,
And
so
he got it done. And then my biggest thing was, now you're on the wrong side, Jamie. You're stuck on the outside, but he still managed to get it across, get on the inside line for the next one. And then I was like, this is very much like Bathurst.
I think it was very good from them, both of them. So Shane didn't push him off the track or anything. Jamie got a little bit jumpy, I think. Shane actually, you could see it, he went for the side draft, so he went to swerve in to get close, and Jamie's gone, he's going to hit me, and
went
moved
out a bit
over.
more, yeah. Well, Jamie had no issue with it. He said, when we're rubbing paint, when we're rubbing panels, we'll probably put some wheels in the dirt. And Jamie had nothing bad to say about Shane. That move was on, and
they were aggressive, but they were safe.
Mm.
At no point did I see them look like they were going to take each other out. They were just racing hard, and it was good. It was really good racing to watch. The Porsche incident,
unlucky.
I think the Porsche actually blocked Jamie a long way over the top where it shouldn't have.
Because Jamie was very aggressive when he got by him.
Yeah, and he had to be, because old mate was putting his car in awkward positions that Jamie couldn't get by him. And it was like he could have pulled away to the side, and then Jamie would just shot past him, but he didn't. He put it in awkward positions. And I understand the driver's very tired and that, but he could have affected the outcome of the premier race category of that weekend.
Yeah.
By blocking him. Anyway, and then Shane come up on the same Porsche driver and didn't really give him the respect that he probably needed, and the fact that it was quite hard. It was a Oh, whose phone's not on silent today, mate?
Top in Indoor Sports Centre.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so Shane didn't quite give him the respect it needed and the gap he needed, and maybe thought that the Porsche was going to be faster, or maybe the Porsche pulled off the throttle. I guess we'll never know the whole story.
No.
But he clipped him, put him in the wall. We had a safety car. Shane went, well, this is my chance. I got to stick on the back of Jamie. The team hadn't told him he had a drive-through.
No, well, that's how they're going to tell him down Conrod Straight.
Yeah.
Because
that's the logical place.
Yeah, it's either up Mountain Straight or down Conrod Straight.
Yep.
Because there's like no point talking to the driver when they've got to negotiate.
Left, right,
up,
flat
go
out.
Skyline, down the Dipper and stuff. You might as well talk to them when they got bloody 2.5 kilometre straight.
Exactly. And he was pushing 110%, and that 10% extra is too far.
I don't think Shane realised he got the penalty.
No, he hadn't.
Because
And
there was a
obviously
point
he had
there
to
where
push.
thought, I thought I got I thought, I got by with, I didn't get the penalty. And then he was really pushing, and he took too much of that inside curb and just lost the rear.
Exactly.
And you just watch the footage. He lost it, couldn't correct it,
Over-rotated and
straight in the wall.
nosed her in, parked her in.
What do you think about him trying to get back to the pits? Right call, wrong call? Should have pulled over and known that his car was buggered.
No, I think I would have too. You got to think there's probably only 4 cars on the lead lap. If they could have got it back to the pits, obviously he doesn't know he's leaking coolant or whatever. He can probably see temperature warnings, but he doesn't know if that's a block dam or what's going on. So he's trying to limp it back to the pit so they can patch him up. He can get back out there. They might even get a 4th position. It's better than a DNF.
Yeah, he was gutted.
Where he parked it was pretty sad.
It was up
but
that hill.
I don't think that was deliberate. I think he thought the car was going to keep going, and then it just stopped.
I think if he just got over that hill, that was the last rise.
Yeah.
And then you could have rolled almost all the way down to the to
So-
the pits. The footage that summed up the Mercedes weekend was when they were trying to pull the car onto the tilt tray with the front tow point, and all that did was rip
Pluck
it off
it out.
the front. You're like, I felt very bad for Shane.
I did too, and it was really. And I know we've talked about this, but we should highlight it for the listeners. Really got to give it to Tony and Craig. Their sportsmanship.
Yeah, they were telling people, no, we don't clap. We know they don't want to win a race because someone takes
The
themselves
team
out.
is understandably happy. They've just won, essentially. They know they've won the Bathurst 12 out. Their main contender's been taken out. So the team's really happy. They're ecstatic. They're cheering. They're clapping their hands. And Craig and Tony are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Like, no,
stop.
no.
Stop. We do not win. This is not how we win. We do not
Craig
like
looked
this.
very concerned too. Like he straight up a hand over the mouth, like,
Yeah.
well, this is his teammate. Like we can all go, yeah, they're competitors this weekend, but for 99% of the year, they're teammates.
Yeah. I guess both of those drivers, they're both mature. So maybe if it was a 20-year-old or maybe even up to a 30-year-old driver beside Craig, maybe he would have been like, yeah, we've won this. But they're not. They can put themselves straight in Shane's shoes. They've made mistakes like this.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them have done that. And I think that's where they've went, oh my God, that's so sad. Like I think we were about 18 minutes, 17.4 minutes.
It put a dampener on the end of the
from the
race
end?
because it was just like, and then they took a while to get the car off, and there's like, all right, we got like 4 minutes left. I think
It was
we're
a
still on the
procession.
safety car. I was like, yep, all right, quickly go up, go to the toilet. You know, if we sit here for 12 hours. Sad end to the race, but wow. I know we've said this, but wow, I can't wait. I know we said that this year, but it's too late to go to this year's 18. Definitely. And
Yeah, I think it's a highlight of the motorsport calendar in Australia now.
quick car that I felt very bad for, and we haven't really touched on them, was Scafie, Ingle, Longhurst.
Yeah. Especially
They
just
were
how
quick.
devastated Ingle looked as well.
He was heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a kick in the guts.
Yeah.
He looked.
I think
He looked
Scafie
like a
handled it
destroyed
very
man.
well.
He looked like a destroyed man in the car, and then he looked like a lost man when he was standing outside of the car on the other side of the barrier. Like Ingle just, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were the best placed BMW.
Yeah, and they were doing a great job.
Mm.
They were. Real shame.
And Ingle was topping practices too.
Was he now?
Yeah,
No, I
Ingle
didn't,
topped,
I didn't see
think
that.
one of the first practice
Yeah.
sessions.
I guess the other story we haven't really touched on much is Shane's co-driver.
Craig Bird, he did a alright job except for shunting Lowndes, but he apologised for that.
He did, and he was very nice to Shane and telling everyone that he had a mapping problem in qualifying. It wasn't his fault that he was slow.
Well, the car was on pace Sunday.
Yeah.
What
What about the other teammate?
do you think?
Maro Ingle? Yeah, something like that.
I think he makes Eskies.
Yeah, yeah. Some German fella thinks he's top
some
shit.
Mercedes factory driver. No.
Yeah.
We all know
He
what we're talking
sprayed-
about.
He sprayed him.
He was not a happy chap. He kicked the tyres. When he saw Shane put him in the wall,
Yep.
slammed the trailer door when he went into the truck.
Yep.
And then Mark Beretta chased him down with a bloody TV camera.
Yeah.
And the thing that I took away so much from this interview was Mara Engel comes out and is like, I need to be careful what I say here. And then proceeds to shit on Shane. The whole granted, the whole interview, it was over in a minute. It was so quick. He said so little.
Half of
But
it was
so
Barrett's
much.
talking.
Yeah.
He didn't. He only said like 10 words,
All
but
he
they were
said
pretty
was-
meaningful.
All I've seen is Shane make a lot of mistakes this weekend.
Yeah, Brett says that's racing. You know,
Then he
that
goes,
happens
That's
when you're
not
pushing.
racing. I don't class that as racing. All I've seen is Shane do a lot of mistakes this weekend, and then he walks off.
Yep. Like,
Bit of a storm in a teacup, I think.
yeah.
I mean, he obviously wears his heart on his sleeve. He was very emotional when that happened. Only just before Shane got in the car, Mario's like, if anyone's to go in this car and win it, it's got to be Shane. I think he's copped it online.
Shane was the fastest driver out of the team.
Oh, exactly.
As well.
Yeah. You knew he was going to finish it. Mario Engel come out a bit later on Twitter. Says, he goes, I'm a great believer in our team. He's such a great driver, and I apologize to Shane for my heat of the moment comments. I think that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah. I think he's damaged maybe a little bit of his reputation with the way he sprayed him, but Shane made a lot of mistakes. He's not wrong. He hasn't made an accusation about something that's not true. Shane did make a lot of mistakes this weekend. Shane's come out and said that. And I think we're just going to move on from it. There were some pretty funny other replies to different Twitters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but the Japanese cheese panda. I'll link this in here. It's actually Lawrence Vandorf. He's a Porsche driver, I believe. Yes, he's actually a Porsche driver. He tweeted out Mario Engel right now, hashtag B12HR, and it's the old panda smashing a keyboard, not happy. Bloody your mate, Scott McLaughlin, tweeted a picture of Dave Franco looking very nervous, going, watching the Bathurst 12-hour interviews like, ooh. And there's some Twitter pictures of here, Mario Engel and his teammates, and they're all scrubbed out. Yeah, look, I just think he was just a bit annoyed. I don't think it's anything really.
Yeah, I think he should have held what he said. He's a professional.
Said that.
He's a professional driver getting paid good money to do it. Realistically, if I was employing him and he said that on national television or international television, I'd be pretty upset. But it brings viewing. This is one of the most talked about things, and it's a guy in the pits talking to a TV camera, like from the whole 12 hour, which had amazing racing, and yet this is one of the most talked about things. The whole
talking about Mario Engel rubbishing Shane.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
There's a lot of people out there going, Mario, you're never getting into Australia again. I think they're forgetting Shane's actually a Kiwi, so most Australians wouldn't.
Yeah, but we steal Kiwis all the time. It's fine. Every good Kiwi's an Australian. Don't you know that yet, Michael?
Apparently. And back to V8 Supercar news. I'll quickly touch on this. It is Monday the 6th of February. Walkinshaw released their car today.
It's amazing, isn't it? Looks pretty good.
Yeah. I was wondering if you've been a bit sarcastic, but no, you actually do like it.
I do like it. Yeah, sorry if I sound sarcastic.
I know it's amazing. Yes, it's great. HSV's back on. So they're the Mobile One HSV Racing.
Yeah, see, I would thought they were going to go with Walkinshaw Racing, but no, they're Mobile One's naming rights, HSV. So Mobile One HSV Racing. It's a long name.
It's no different than Red Bull Racing Red Bull Holden Racing Team.
Yeah.
You get lots of long names. Whatever.
It
the
pays
car
the
looks
bills.
Good.
Let's put it that way.
The car looks good. It looks mean. You've got the gloss red. I think it's like, I don't know if it's a day glow red like they've gone, or if it's just a gloss red.
I do actually
car.
quite like the car. It does look quite good. It probably will be one of the best looking cars out there this year.
I got a text message from a mate today. Diehard Ford fan. He's got blue eyes. He's got blue eyes. I stare into your eyes. No, he only sees Ford.
Yeah.
And he actually sent me a message going, holy crap, that Commodore looks mean.
Yeah,
along those lines.
It's true.
And it really does. Maybe this is the year of the matte car.
Maybe Ford has got the gauntlet thrown out here, and maybe they need to finally put out a decent livery for a change. Because Shell Helix is probably the only Ford livery I've liked for a long time.
Yeah. I'm over the Bottle racing. I'm over it.
Yeah, the Bottle one I don't mind too much, but other than the Bottle one from the actual PRA team,
Yeah,
Not a
but
big
the
fan
Bottle
of the
one,
others.
like, it's been there for a long time now, and there's only so much green with a bottle O on it. And they took off the little eagle. The falcon now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, don't have the forward backing.
Yep.
It's another short-ish episode. It's actually we've covered enough in this.
Yeah. It's just a quick recap of the 12 hours, some major things that happened in it, and a couple of touches on some news. I guess the next episode might be
maybe another winter testing, and then we're on to it. We'll probably do one more.
You never know. We'll see we'll keep you updated anyway.
Yeah, we'll post it up. We might do one more. We're not going to say
we might be
anything
after Adelaide. If not, there could be one beforehand, but we'll see how we go.
It depends how long we've got before if there's much to take away from the testing.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you guys are just listening to us ramble on, which we appreciate.
We are rambling right now.
On that note, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to hit us up on our website at www.breakinglate.com or head over to our Facebook. We're facebook.com/breakinglate. Yeah, if you guys can leave a review on any of your podcasting apps where you get the show from, that is really helpful. It really, really does help the show out, guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any emails, send them through. Got questions, let us know. But that's our show.
That is all for tonight.
Well, thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Catch us later.
Bye.
Bye.